Whether you're watching, listening or reading this, welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog. And today we're going to be talking about the 7 degrees of separation. And the Runpreneur vlog is part of the Runpreneur challenge, which is our mission to raise £1 million for children's charities by run vlogging on consecutive days the distance of 1 lap around the world. It is a staggering 40,075 kilometres. It's an 11-year challenge. I have to commit to running a minimum of 5 kilometres whilst vlogging every single day, and I'm even going to do it barefoot style. So if you want to find out how to support the challenge, please go to the links in my bios or to the website challenge.runpreneur.co. And as always, let's get started. So, the 7 degrees of separation. Now, this is something that I kind of knew. People have talked about it in the past, but I'd never really looked into it in a bit more depth and understand the power of it until now. And the reason for now, which I'll go into in just a second, is, I'll go into it now, is that I'm embarking upon this marketing challenge, this running challenge, to raise a huge amount of money to save the lives of children. Okay, so, and part of this marketing plan is to reach as many people as possible, collaborate with as many people as possible. So that's kind of understanding why I've kind of come back across this now and why it's so relevant to me. So first I'll explain what the 7 degrees of separation is and what it means. So basically, there's loads and loads of data and evidence that backs this up. But the argument is the only 7 steps, or 6 introductions if you look at 7 being steps, 7 steps, or 6 introductions from everybody in the world. Everybody. The Queen, you go up to royalty, you go to Cristiano Ronaldo, the biggest social media accounts out there. You're only 7 steps, or 6 introductions from any of them. There was a famous kind of trial that lots of Hollywood actors were doing, in that you're only 6 films or 7 films away from a Kevin Bacon film. That was something that kind of happened in Hollywood not so long ago, where all these film actors were linking films that they've been in with different actors to get back to Kevin Bacon and a film that he was in. And again, it was proven you only a maximum of 6 introductions or 7 steps to anybody. And there's been numerous. Google have done studies, Microsoft have, you name it, there's been studies and they all back this up. So it's proven. Which is quite mind-blowing really, when you think we're in a world of 6.5, 7 billion people, and our networks through 6 introductions could reach anyone. So when you understand that power, it's like absolutely mind-blowing and eye-opening. So now I've explained what it is and how it works in terms of the introductions. So how can we use this to our advantage? Well, I'm trying to raise £1 million for children's charities by doing this crazy run vlogging challenge, 11 years run around the world in distance on consecutive days. It's a crazy challenge, okay, but it's a challenge that is quite eye-catching. So once people are aware about what we're doing, people are like, wow, that's amazing, that's really interesting. So it's kind of that attention grabbing element to it is the challenge. But how we're going to raise the money, it's all through getting in front of the right people who A, are going to donate, and B, have got the right network or the right following to level up my campaign. Okay, so what I've been doing of late is I started this channel, I started this challenge, or started the process of raising donations by reaching out to my kind of immediate network. Okay, people I know and trust, and what I'm actually doing is sending them personalised video messages, asking them for support on the challenge. Okay, now it's a very direct but very personalised approach to getting subscription donations. Very small, sustainable donations, which hopefully most people can afford. So that's the first step. But there's one simple question I'm about to start including in every one of these messages. It's who do you know that you could introduce me to who'd be interested in supporting this challenge? Okay? And basically, it sounds pretty harsh and ruthless, I suppose, but in a marketing world, marketing sense of trying to grow your reach, following, trying to change the world in whatever way serving your passion and purpose kind of takes you on that journey, is everybody should be seen as a stepping stone. Not in that you disregard them after you've stepped on them, absolutely not, because they're going to be part of your network and you're building relationships. But when you meet that person and you build that rapport with them, who can they then introduce you to? Okay, because if I cold called the Queen, for example, I'm not going to get through. I'm never going to get through. And I probably wouldn't even get a phone number to start with. But if I found somebody who knew somebody in the outer depths of royalty, maybe a couple of introductions away, and they perhaps knew maybe Prince William, you know, and then he can then go to the Queen and possibly get me an introduction. Now this is extreme and it's never going to happen, but it could. And that's the point behind this. So getting that next introduction and the next one and the next one is so important, because if somebody introduces you, if that person has a relationship with that person and they know, like, and trust one another, an introduction from that individual of you is going to be taken seriously, rather than just a spam cold calling message that people don't really have the time of day to look for. So it's a really, really important concept, and it's something that I'm embracing at the moment, and it's very, very early stages, but I launched with my business mentor. He's working with me on an ongoing basis on this, Rob Moore, the disruptive entrepreneur, and he's working on some people in his network, like Ronnie O'Sullivan is somebody, running enthusiast that he knows, that he's interviewed on his podcast. But then through putting the interview on social media, people that follow Rob have watched that interview, and then I've come across Ellie McKay. Now she's a big influencer as well. She's got a big podcast, lots of social media followers as well, and she's really intrigued and she wants to kind of really get involved in this with me, and she's introduced me to other key individuals like Neville Wright, founder of Kiddie Care, sold it for 100 million or whatever. I mean, these are big people with big networks, and I would never have got in front of these people without people introducing me. So I'm explaining how this has worked for me and how I'm only scratching the surface at the moment. And that's something that I'm doing is everybody I'm messaging, all in my nearest contacts, I'm asking for donations, but I'm also asking for an introduction. And the power of that, I mean, there might be a few thousand of people eventually I can send video messages to, but if I just get half of them do an introduction for me, I mean, that's a big step into a whole new level of people who then have another whole level of people after them, and so on. So it's like, you know, network marketing, isn't it? It's to reach one, to reach several more, to reach hundreds of thousands of more, to reach millions of more, and so on. And that's how you kind of get the 7 degrees of separation. So why should this be relevant to you? Well, in whatever business you're in, you know, I've been taught that marketing is the most important function in a business. Okay, and of course I agree with that. I've been taught it by people that can seriously back that up. And they always say that collaborations are the way to exponentially grow. Yeah, you can do everything on social media or paid advertising, all these things to try and build a following, but that's slow, it takes time, but there's no substitute for a word of mouth introduction. And if you get those collaborations and you piggyback other people's followers, other people's reach, it just can exponentially take you to the next level. So I've got a real big focus on this at the moment, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes. I've got several guest interviews coming up on my vlog, which I'm really going to delve deep into their minds. The vlog has always been around, you know, how exercise and in particular running can help people manage the busyness of their lives and how they can help control the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety through the positive mental impact of exercise. So we'll be beating all sorts of people with wild and wacky stories, different levels of success, different roles, different stories, but it doesn't matter who you are, you all experience these emotions of stress, overwhelm, and anxiety. That's part of life. It's all relative. Some people have a high degree of it, but that doesn't mean that we don't all experience it. So we'll be going into the depths of people's minds on how they utilise exercise, and all this to inspire people to move more, be more active, be more healthy. We're in a world full of distractions, of screens, social media, all these types of things, and there's no substitute for an active life, for an active mind, in my opinion. We'll also be going deep with charities as well, and finding out more about how the challenge is going to impact children, and that's really, really important. So they're the main things we're going to be vlogging about. But the 7 degrees of separation, there's everybody in the world. So I've got a dream 100 list we're building at the moment with massive people on that, not massive in stature, but massive in following, in fame, in reach. And by one, we'll be working as hard as we can to find those connections to get to them. So hope that's useful. If you've got any questions, just drop me a comment. I'll respond to everyone. If there's a bigger topic, I'll perhaps do a vlog episode and tag you in. Please find out more about how you can support the challenge. This genuinely will save the lives of children who need it the most. So go to the links in my bios to get to the website where you can find out how you can donate and how you can support the challenge, or go to the website challenge.runpreneur.co. Runpreneur is spelled RUNPRENEUR.co. challenge.runpreneur.co and find out more. Stay positive, stay happy. I'll see you tomorrow.